I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I had 7 minutes of this video recording. I went to clear a notification from my screen, and it fucking opened the notification, so it cleared 7 minutes of video I recorded, so if I sound pissed in this video, that's why, just saying. Oh, hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Ben with the Everything Channel, and what's better than restarting an old series? Restarting an old series from a channel you're not doing that series on anymore, or even changed the video subject of that channel. Fuck, let me reword that actually. You know what's better than starting a new series? Restarting an old series from a channel that you no longer do those kind of videos on. That was a much better way of wording it, wasn't it? But yeah, like I said at the start of the video, I had 7 minutes of this video recorded. I got a YouTube notification. I swiped it off my screen, and then it decided to open YouTube, and it didn't save any of the 7 minutes of recording. I'm very upset. I am very upset, not gonna lie. I don't know what I'm gonna do because I'm so upset, but I am so upset that I'm gonna restart this video. Fuck. But yeah, welcome back to another video. As I said, my name is Ben with the Everything Channel, and we're going to be restarting the Gameplan Hockey series that I had on my Mobile Jockey channel before I changed that to... Oh, excuse me, sorry. Before I changed that to my just pure music channel, and I decided to upload any video that I decided to upload that I just... Like... I've been drinking a little bit, sorry if I fuck up my words. I decided to make that my music channel and upload any video that isn't music on my Everything channel because it's the Everything channel. I can upload videos or whatever I want, and it's not going to be off base from what I do because of my name. So, I mean, that's a plus. That's a plus, right? But no, seriously, we're going to be restarting the Gameplan Hockey series. When I had done it initially on my Mobile Jockey channel, I was in the BHL, I believe, finishing Season 2. Now I am in the SHL, starting my first season in the SHL. And not only am I bringing back this video format with the pausing constantly to do the jump shots and me just sitting here screaming at you guys, but I've got notes. I've got jot notes, guys. And not only do I have a page of jot notes for you guys, I've got 2 pages of jot notes for you guys. Because there has been stuff happening in my game plan world, even though the season hasn't officially started yet. Oh, that was hype. Okay, so basically, yeah, when I had last uploaded a video, I believe, getting done with Season 2. It's going to be pretty much like the same video format, but however, I'm not just starting the off-season. I am actually starting a new season, and I'm getting promoted to the SHL, so that is cool. And also, one more sign up before we get going into the game plan details. I know that I had acknowledged dropping an album at the beginning of last month. My housing situation actually kind of got turned upside down. I was staying with a friend when I was recording the album, and they decided to kind of kick me out of nowhere, but me and another one of my friends actually just bought our own trailer. Since I am saying something to you about it, I will give you a minor room tour. I'll give you a room tour. I'm not giving you a house tour, sorry. Okay, but yeah, this is the room, pretty much. If I sound really echoey, it's because I got my bed and I've got some air mattresses in here, and that's about it. But I'd say that's about enough of me rambling on about myself. I covered everything I wanted to. Mentioned the album, mentioned my new place, and I mentioned these jot notes. So, boy, here we go. Okay, so it's been a few days since the season started. We're actually on day 5 of the preseason, and game started on day 7. I guess I should actually give you guys a minor breakdown of the game plan, how the game plan game works. If you missed my first video on it, where on the Mobile Jockey, where I had explained everything. If I ever designate times, like I will do this tomorrow or I will do this the next day, I am referring to it in these specific game plan series videos, in game plan time. Games in game plan are 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the days reset at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if I upload a video at night saying I will do this tomorrow, and I upload a video in the morning again saying I will do this tomorrow, it's still the same game plan day, so I'm not lying to you. If you catch what, because I could upload a video now, say 9 p.m. at night, and say I'll do something tomorrow, and if I decide to upload another video before the game happens saying, and I forget that I mentioned something, and I say I will do this tomorrow, I'm still not lying to you because the day and game plan hasn't reset yet, if that makes sense. But without further ado, without any further waffle, let's get into not only 1 page of jot notes, but 2 pages of jot notes, boy. I haven't wrote this many notes actually for a video in the entire time I've done YouTube, even for my old game plan videos. Or, not my old game plan videos, my old Mobile Jockey videos where I would have a lot of bullet points. Most of those would be coming from my head, but a lot of this stuff will be coming from the actual paper because, as I said, I not only have 1 page, but I have 2 pages. Because that is how much I care about not only this series, but about this game itself. So, without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? Alright, so, nothing happened on day 1 of the new season of me being in the SHL. However, on day 2, I had made a trade with the Francois Ballbreakers. Yeah. The trade that I had made with them, I had traded 24-year-old Connor Glenell, defensive player, he never really managed to crack my roster full time, but he was a very good depth defenseman if someone got injured, per se. If someone was injured for more than a few days, I'd be able to put him in, and I would actually be able to rely on him for a period of time. It's just, whoever I had in the lineup instead of him, I would be able to depend on that much more. I traded him 1-for-1 for 36-year-old depth centerman Alexos McDonald, who I actually played in my preseason game yesterday, and I see him basically playing the same kind of role as Glenell. I don't see him playing a full-time role, maybe even next season in my roster. This season, however, I might see him playing more of a bigger role because it's my first season in the SHL, and my team was built for the BHL. So, I feel like we might have our struggles, but I might actually play him a decent bit, just depending on how my other centermen play. If he plays better than the others, even if he's not playing well, I might just keep him in the lineup just because I might not have anyone better. But that was the only thing done on day 2. On day 3, I had actually managed to sign 2 players to extensions from my team. I had signed Benjamin Mabe to a 5-year extension, actually. His old contract that he is still on until the end of this season, when next season his new contract kicks. He was on a 3-year, $568,000 contract in the BHL, and now he actually signed for a 5-year, $400,000 extension, a pay cut of about $168,000. That's really not... I'm happy with it. Like, sure, 5 years, he's already 27, but, like, I managed to cut $168,000 from his contract. I feel like I managed to do not a bad job at that, and not to mention, he is our current number 1 center. I have David Kiss playing on the first line as well, but he is a centerman as well. He's actually currently my only draft pick in these 5 seasons. It took me since the expansion to promote up league level, but he is the number 1 guy taking centers against the other team's number 1 centers. And managing to get him on a contract like that, he is in his prime. He's in his prime, I'm not going to lie. Sure, 27, you might be thinking in NHL terms, oh, yeah, sure, he is dead set in his prime. Like, in 2 years he's not going to be, but no. I will explain this now. The Gameplan Hockey world is older than real-life NHL, per se. Like, in the NHL, you might actually hit your prime at 23, 24. In the game plan world, you are hitting your prime a lot later. Like, think 80s and 90s NHL. Like, like the 30-year-olds are like the leaders of your team. The 34-year-olds are like the leaders of your team, like the veteran presence that you want on your team, at least one of them. So your prospects at least have a person to look up to and have a actually nice role model for. But enough about Benjamin Mabe. Let's talk about the second player who I had signed to an extension. That would be Mr. Stephanie Landwehr. He was on a 3-year, $76,000 prove-it-to-me contract where he was 21 where he had signed it. He is 23 now. He was 21 when I signed it. That is the oldest you can hit free agency if your team that you get drafted by does not re-sign you after the season where you turn 21. Excuse me. If that team does not re-sign you when you're 21, you hit free agency and you can be signed by any team at any league level. And I had signed him as a potential, hey, maybe in 2-3 seasons he can play. He actually played in the first year. As I might have stated, his old contract was a 3-year, $76,000 contract. Just kind of prove it to me. I had over $1 million in cap space. I gave him a, not lucrative, but somewhat long-term contract just to be like, all right, let's see what he has to offer. And now that he has played 3 seasons actually fully in my organization, I had offered him a new contract, 3 years as well, at a $95,000 rate. We moved up to the SHL, as I had stated earlier in the video. My cap space in the BHL was... Don't quote me on this, but I want to say it was just over 7,000 or 10,000, and my cap space in the SHL is just over 20, I want to say. I didn't actually look it up before this video. I really regret not looking that up, not gonna lie. Fuck. But either way, I can probably... I'll bring it up in the next video, but I have so much more cap space than I used to. Like, if I wasn't promoted at the end of last season, I would be in a severe cap crunch, but now that I'm not in that league anymore, I have over $10 million in cap. Especially since I traded... Especially since I traded somebody that I will get to in a later trade, because we're not actually on that day yet in my notes, but I'm just saying. Yeah. Okay, so moving on from the extension for Stephanie Landwehr. The next day, day 4, after the, or no, it was... Yeah, it was the day of, actually, of my, no, it was the day before my, fucking damn it, I can't think of the word now. Fuck. Before my preseason game, I bought out my centerman, Ilari Escala, from his 5-year, $263,000 contract. When I had signed him to that contract, it was in Season 4. It is Season 6 now, technically speaking. I got promoted in Season 5. I had signed him to that contract in Season 4. I had traded for him along with this centerman named Hansen as well. I can't remember his first name, Christopher Hansen, I want to say. But I had traded for both of them because I wasn't entirely confident in my bottom 6 centermen. So I had traded for both of them, believing that Escala could play maybe a number 3 if injured, maybe a number 4 permanently centerman, and I would take Hansen as an injury depth player, play on the 4th line if he has to kind of player. But as it turns out, Escala, who was signed to a $260,000 contract, is not the player that who I thought he would be, and Hansen, who I signed for $153,000, is. And because I don't have room for Mansell, since I had also traded for Alexios McDonald after the season started, I don't have room for him. And that contract will bite me if I hold on to it long enough. Like I know my team isn't really built for the SHL, but I'm looking to take this sort of retool in the same direction that I took with my team when the expansion started, where I'm not looking for a full-blown retool, or a rebuild, I should say, but I'm looking more for a retool where I am still trading draft picks, and I'm trading maybe 1 or 2 prospects, but I'm also bringing in young players, signing young players, bringing young players into the fold, and trying to build my team up at an SHL level. So, and yeah, that does kind of sound defeating because if I get promoted to the GHL, then I'll have to do the same thing. But if you want the most success at the league level you're in, you gotta build for the league level you're in. That's really all I got to say about it. But moving on from the Alari Escola buyout, the same day, day 4, that I bought out Escola, I traded both picks. Now, something I gotta tell you about my pick trading, if I could be honest with you, I have a bad habit of it. Even if I don't want to, I'll go into every season, including season 1 after the expansion. I said, I'm not trading my draft picks. I said I wasn't. I said I'm holding on to them because I'm going to use them for something. Six seasons now, I have been general manager of the Keniston, now Tornadoes, formerly known as the Keniston Pluckers. And in 6 seasons, 5 drafts, you only get 2 picks per draft, so those are fucking important. Yeah, a first rounder in the NHL is important, especially if it's top, 15. But we only get 2 picks in this game plan game that I play. And David Kiss, the man who I mentioned earlier, is the only man who I have drafted. Every year I say, I will keep my picks, but every year I get an offer just a little bit more tantalizing than the last. And I have to accept it. This season I did it with a reason. I didn't just do it because it's a fantastic trade. I did it with a reason. This season, day 4, same day I bought out Escola, I traded both my first round and my second round pick. That was a silent burp, but I don't have to stop. I traded them for two 20-year-old prospects. Canadian Albert Dusnard, I'm sorry. Fuck. I traded him for Canadian Albert Dusnard and German Jerez Brychy. Brychy. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. He's not a real person. I can't just ask him how to say his name. But I traded for both of them. Both of them SHL level prospects. Traded my only 2 draft picks for them. But honestly, I am not upset about it. The long-standing defensive duo of Elliot Corbeau and Mark Dawson, who were with me when I first expanded the team, when the team was handed to me after expansion, they were on lines 1 and 2. They haven't left since that day. They really haven't. They've been the guys through the rebuild, after the rebuild, when we got promoted, even now after promotion. But they're 29 and 28 respectively. They're getting up there. Now, sure, I have Aaron Ostergaard, 34 years old. Fuck. He has SHL experience. But age does catch up to people eventually. And not only that, players will retire before, their prime is done. Like Season 1 example, I say David Kiss is my only draft pick because in Season 1, I traded my second round draft pick for Jorn Thorson and someone named, for Alexis Jones, so I'm sorry. Alexis Jones was 29 when the season ended and turned 30 before the draft. He retired. That age, 30. He retired at 30. I still have Jorn Thorson. He plays in the top 6. Soon to be top line pairing. I might pair him with Mabe and Kiss just to add a little bit of defense to that first line. But I still basically traded my second round pick for him and a top line player. That's basically what a second round pick is worth in this league because we have so little picks in such a deep draft. Like, for crying out loud, LIHL players. Okay, let me explain this real quick. The league tiers, they go GHL, SHL where I am, BHL where I was, CHL, IHL, and LIHL. Now, prospects from LIHL, IHL, BHL, CHL teams, they can play at a higher level. They can, and they can succeed. They won't succeed like they were supposed to, but they will be a very good player nonetheless, right? What I'm mostly afraid of for this upcoming season is that a lot of my prospects were for lower league teams. Fuck me. They were from lower league teams, so I'm concerned about their ceiling and that we might have hit them in the BHL, and in the SHL we might have to just rebuild with an entire new branch of prospects. But, moving on from the trade, to day 5. 20 minutes in, day 5. I know, right? Come on, Ben. But on day 5, we had our only preseason game of this year. We faced the Goldfield Knights, and we lost 5-2. Interesting, right? Interesting. Sammy Stebbins was the only notable player. I had just signed him to an extension as well. I did not actually write down his contract information, and I don't have it offhand because there's just too many contracts to remember. But he had 2 points as well. He had a goal and an assist. So basically he got points on both of our goals. And yeah, basically from my assistance report, only the first line really and the starting goalie played well. I had Gerano Mar starting in goal. He is a currently 19-year-old traded for at 18 last season goalie prospect. He is an SHL draft pick. Berzin and Ostergaard are both SHL. Berzin is an SHL level prospect and Ostergaard has SHL experience, but Gerano Mar is also an SHL level prospect. He got the start today in the preseason. We lost 5-2, as I said, but he didn't play badly overall. He had an .868 save percentage, which is not the greatest, but if you're not looking to contend and you're looking to just stay middling, I guess I should say, I don't have another word for it. Like, in this game, you cannot, rebuild. You can't tank and get, the number 1 overall draft pick. For the promotion playoffs, to make the playoffs, you have to be 6th place in your conference or above. And for the relegation playoffs, you have to be 10th place or below. So, really, the only teams that don't do anything in the offseason after the season's done are teams 7th place through 9th place, which is really niche, but that's where I'm shooting for, not gonna lie. Because I won't have to really worry about anything there. I won't have to worry about getting relegated, but at the same time, I don't have to worry about making the playoffs per se. So I'm shooting for about 8th or 9th place in the conference. Of course, I don't have my own draft picks, so it's not like those matter. But I don't want to be the worst team in the league and just give away high prospects and get relegated the season after I get promoted. I feel like that would be really embarrassing. And moving on from the actual game, sorry, I'm kind of making these jump cuts kind of quick. I just caught the time, so I'm trying to make it kind of quick. I just wanted to touch on a few rookies who I personally will be keeping my eye on. On day 6 of the preseason, I will actually be uploading a video about my full lines, the ages, and the salaries of every player on my team, just so that you guys can get caught up with exactly what I'm what I'm working with for the season. Gerano Mar, like I had mentioned at the when I had started talking about the game. Of course, 18 years old last season, only 19 this season. But I am working on molding him into a potential starter, not only in this league level, but maybe even in the GHL, if I can manage to get this game to grow that well. I have 2 goalies in the names of Louis David Fay and Simon Martinin, who I believe will actually be able to maintain the crease rather well. Martinin is, I believe, a BHL level prospect, was a BHL level draft pick, but his game has grown beyond the BHL in my opinion. And being backed up by Gerano Mar or Louis David Fay, I feel like he would be able to make a rather big impact. Denis Miroshnichenko is another one. He is a lower level prospect. However, his game last season was well and above what should be in the minors. However, his game was not quite up to the BHL level, so it will be very interesting to see what he will be doing not only at the AHL level, where last season my affiliate was AHL 2. He will be moving up a league level if I relegate him to the minors. However, if I keep him in the pros, he will be playing, of course, a much higher skill level game because I will be playing in the SHL, of course. And last but not least, I will be looking closely at Andrew Mansell. 20 years old today, he's still on his SHL level ELC. I had traded for him last year at 19 years old. I did not actually expect him to step in my lineup right away. However, when I had caught up on him for injury, he actually stepped up to a top 9 role rather well, and I had kept him on my third line and my second power play. Not my second power play, my second penalty. Son of a bitch! But I will be keeping an eye on him, as if I had stayed in the BHL, he would be looked at as my next number 1 center. But now that we're in the SHL and looking to build for the GHL, I am interested to see what kind of role he will be filling. It will be entirely up to him what role he fills, because I will not be forcing him into a role that he cannot do. However, I will not be keeping him out of the lineup if he can play. You get what I mean? But I am going to cut this video off here after the prospect talk. I am at 26 minutes. These videos are going to be a bit longer than the old game plan series, so they're probably going to be about between 10 and 15 minutes. I'm hoping they're not going to be 26 minutes next time, but I mean, if they are, they are. I'm going to be taking at least this many notes, if not more, next time. However, if you are new, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Of course, like I said, I shouldn't be saying of course, it's like I said at the start of the video, I am starting a new game plan series, so hopefully all of these pages will be filled up with notes from games. I will be uploading a new video tomorrow, regardless if I do anything or not, because the season will be starting soon. Like I said, make sure you hit like and subscribe if you're just stopping through, and have yourself a good day, everybody.